certain anime fans or fans period like to have their shows go on and forever instead of having like a good ending, a conclusion.
Well, I got some opinions on that. It kind of reminds me of this. There's actually this one joke in Cromartie High School where they kind of talked about something like that. Is that the episode started out that people change or like this one character's acting differently, and then they bring up the subject. But like sometimes things are good when they don't change. It makes us feel like at ease and we know what to expect. But at the same time, you can't help but think that it could get kind of repetitive or boring after a while.
I don't know, man. I kind of just feel like you need to wrap up your story and move on to the next thing, like life itself.
Yeah, well, I suppose like one example is like One Piece. I mean, even though it's really long, the Oda does have, he has said many times that he does want to finish it. So, like that.
Is he like this is how I feel with like anime itself. Do you feel that like certain anime manga artists feel like, okay, if I end my story, how the hell I'm gonna get a check,
Yeah, there's always that to worry about because you develop a stability with your income, especially with something like as unpredictable as Jump, where you're working on a weekly basis, and that was basically the only thing you had time for. It's not like you had a spare job on the side, so it is a bit of a problem, really. Like
that really sucks because I don't really see that in these American comic books at all. Like it seems that everybody here in the States have some type of job. Like, oh well, we finished with Spider-Man. Oh well, we can work on the next property or any type of property.
Well, I think the difference is because they didn't create said property, so they could just like freelance like to whoever. But like in cases like for manga like Jump or Sunday or other companies, they're the ones that invented the idea in the first place. So if this idea doesn't work, and then they're out of the job, and if this idea did work for so long, then you're gonna have to try to come up with something better or just be a one-hit wonder. I think it's more comparable to comparing the Japanese manga to like the music industry over here. I mean, take that one guy, which I don't know his name, but the Miley Cyrus dad that he made My Achy Breaky Heart, and that was basically the only good song he made, I think.
Yeah.
So it could be that.
Really, the music industry, man, you don't really have to go out and put record sales out. The most money you can get from being in the music industry if you produce. A producer makes more than the singer itself.
Well, I don't know.
Behind the scenes. Like for me, I think if a person works behind the scenes, control whoever's doing what, then they get all of the profit. But I'm going off topic. All I'm just saying, like, you kind of have to wrap up the story before something like, okay, well, is this gonna end? Is something gonna be awesome? Because people have like other shit to do.
Yeah. Well, it kind of comes down to like it actually reminds me of some cartoons that finished like, a couple years ago, like when Powerpuff Girl, the original Powerpuff Girls finished, like it wasn't because it was canceled, but it was because that the creators wanted to work on something else. They felt like it had a good run already. Let's do something else. But in terms of anime, most of the times the endings are like either canceled or they're not that good sometimes. Or you never see an ending. But I don't know. I do feel that there needs to be like some sort of conclusion, but the reception's always mixed.
What about like can you say the Berserk ending from the 1997?
Oh, yeah, that one's pretty out there because I've heard a couple of people like feel the same way about that ending, that it left them like depressed and shocked, but at the same time you can't help but feel that was like a intentional cliffhanger so people could purchase the manga volumes so they could find out what happens next. You need to know. I mean, there hasn't been a Berserk anime for that until the Golden Age films in the 2010s. So, like, there's no way in hell people were gonna wait. Like,
man, if people thought that was depressing, then they ain't read the manga.
No, but because, I mean, especially, like, if that's the only information you have, I mean, you go to this expecting, oh, they're gonna make it out alive, and like, nope, it just ends right there. It's like, oh shit. Well, that's kind of a ballsy decision to stop the story on that note. They could have easily put a different type of epilogue, but they didn't.
Yeah. Wait, is Luther on here?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah. What's your opinion about, like, certain animes not ending, or should they have a conclusion? Like, what's your opinion about it?
Honestly, every story, when it comes to anime or manga, anything that has a story always has three things: beginning, middle, and an end. Beginning and middle can be very long, but every story has to have at least an ending or conclusion. At least that's how I honestly feel about it.
Yeah, I think the problem is that some series just don't have the luxury of, for whatever reason, of doing it the way they want. But like Kubo said, he did it. He ended like the way he wanted on his terms. But then there's like the recently finished Toriko, which I feel like if it kept on going anymore, it would just be one of those cases where, the early stuff was better, but now all the new chapters kind of suck, type of thing. Sort of like how Fairly Odd Parents is at the moment. Where it's like, it just keeps going.
Still going?
It's still going, and they keep adding more characters. I was like, we should stop.
Yeah, and SpongeBob is still going.
Yeah, the quality's definitely suffer. It's definitely one of those cases where we should probably stop, like, on a high note, rather than, keeping it going until no one watches it no more.
And that has happened.
Yeah, there's a lot of shows where the more they kept going, the less interesting it got, or... that's how I felt like when GT... When you go from Dragon Ball to Dragon Ball Z, or even from the manga to GT, it's like... I feel like GT just felt like, I don't think we kind of need this, and... I guess a very easy example is not in the realms of anime, but in terms of horror movies. Because, how many series keep getting so many sequels? Like, I guess Saw will be the most recent popular trend, where, 1 and 2, that were pretty interesting, and then, okay, 3 was questionable, then they just started going downhill. It's like, okay, and... Yeah.
They want to make money, man.
Yeah, because it got to the point where it was just a yearly tradition, like, oh, every year for the next Halloween, like, oh, Saw movie. Yeah, but then again, there's some people that never got into it, so... there's definitely shows that go through that stuff. The only one I could think of on the top of my head would be Lupin III, but that made, like, a drastic jump. The first series in 73, that was 23 episodes, and it got canceled because it just wasn't doing too well in ratings, and then... when it rerun, it started to get popular again, and then 1977, it comes back with 155 episodes. Somehow it just got popular. But even then, the length doesn't necessarily mean that every episode was good. There were some that were there were good episodes, some were funny, some were just ridiculous, and others were just, what the fuck was going on? It was such a mixed bag of quality. It's especially some of them were just right next to each other. This episode is pretty good. Next one's whoa, I have no idea what happened in this episode, but I wasn't bored, but at the same time I was confused. I don't know.
Yeah, sometimes it's kind of it's a money thing, because some people's alright, man.
Yeah, it's popular now, so let's cash in, by making as much content as possible, but I think that's the reason why Lupin has succeeded over the years, because they haven't done anything that big since 77. The next series after that was 50 episodes, but then after that point, it was just movies and specials. They kept it in short bursts.
I'm okay with certain series being episodic and not taking it so seriously, and maybe coming back every once in a while, but if you have, a continuing story and a plot, you gotta end it somewhere.
Yeah, that's how I feel with Berserk Manga at the moment. I just feel like, just tell me yes or no if Katsu's gonna make it back, and then, just kill Griffith already, please.
Or have all our characters die,
Oh no. It's gruesome. Because, shit. Because the one other series that I wish would kind of hurry up a little bit, but at the same time, like what you were saying earlier, Kai, where this is my job, so if I don't do this, what am I gonna do now, is Gosho Oyoma, who does Detective Conan.
Oh.
Because, you've been doing this since the 90s, so I'm thinking, well, fuck, I can't stop now.
I keep going.
Well, what about Hajime no Ippo?
That's
those
another one.
chapters are over 1,000 long.
Yeah, that's another long-running series. Because there's some authors that are like so passionate what they do. Like Oda's the biggest example, but even the author for Kochikame, he's been doing it for a long time.
40 years.
Yeah, and even then, when he finished his series, like he still wanted to do more manga of other things. And then the only other guy right now that's doing it even longer than anybody else is oh shit, I forgot his name. The author for Takao Saito, the author for Golgo 13. I mean, like, oh man, this guy will not go. He's like, I will not go until I make 200 volumes, and that's final. What volume you're at right now? I'm in the 180s or 170s. Sorry, so yeah. And the guy's like 70-some years old also, so I'm just like, shit.
Why don't he just hire like a assistant?
I don't know. I think he does have assistants, but I'm pretty sure he's just determined to like make that that number. Or I think 200 was the number. I don't even know anymore. But yeah, the point is that he's been going on for a while, and it's I guess it's more of a passion for this point. But for other people, like Gogo's episodic, so there's nothing really much at stake, I guess. But something like Conan, that show, oh my god! Like it starts off with a simple premise. You know, we'll solve some mysteries along the side while we find the black organization and turn myself back into a normal person. But holy fuck! The more it keeps going, more characters keep getting added in to the point where we're getting characters from different countries. We're getting characters from the worst part of it all is that it becomes a romance the more it goes on. And you got all these characters paired up with each other, but no one's willing to make a serious move. No one's willing to do a permanent decision in their love life. It's like, tie the knot already. Do something, guys. Stop teasing. Stop, what's the word? Stop playing footies with each other. Come on, just make the actual. Don't be shy anymore. Come on, everyone knows, and everyone in the room knows how you feel about each other. Just do it, and then, of course, the actual plot takes a back seat every now and then, with the black organization showing up or not. So like,
Black organization.
Yeah, and then I don't know that series is like I appreciate what you're doing because I mean everybody I don't know anyone else that actually likes it that much, but I mean Japan obviously loves Conan, like that's undeniable. But damn, like people will be mad if nothing goes their way because to me it's gonna be hilarious as hell if the final chapter or somewhere towards the end is just nothing but a string of weddings, like a fucking 10-group wedding or something. Like shit, it's gonna be because there's that many people, there's that many characters.
You're getting married.
Let's all get married. I just feel that might happen. I'm just like, oh no, holy shit. But yeah, there's some series that go on for so long. There's just sort of like a, like I guess the other one would be Sase-chan, where that family show is like, I don't think that show's ever gonna leave. It's just like, it's become like so part of their culture. It's like, yeah, we can't let this die out. And
Shin-chan?
Yeah, Shin-chan would be another one. But actually, there's this comedy show that I could tell you about, but well, it's a Spanish comedy that it's from I think it's from the 70s originally. I'm not sure if it was from the 70s or 80s, but it's a live action series. It's a very clean comedy. It's called El Chavo Del Ocho, or I guess the kid from the 8th, or I guess that's what it was called, or that guy from the 8th, I don't know. But yeah, basically it's about this neighborhood of neighbors. And some of the characters are kids, and others are like, they're adults playing kids, but whatever. The whole point of it is that it's a comedy series, and everyone has a gimmick. And that's what I noticed with comedies and romance in general. There's always like some sort of flaw to a character, or they annoy somebody, or some type of recurring event like family sitcoms. But what's fascinating about this comedy is that it finished like many years ago. Like I don't know how many episodes it had, but it got a good length. But the point is that they to this day they still rerun it. Like it's not like it's such a good comedy, or it's such an important part of Mexico's culture that they're gonna continue to air this show no matter what. It's like we don't care.
There's a lot here, man. Like there's still like TGIF shows that they show like around Nickelodeon or BET or BET. So
yeah, Yeah, because the thing is, though, the show is like it's become so popular that even in social media and in terms of anime, you still see stuff on El Chavo del Ocho, which is kind of a funny thing because it's such a clean comedy, and you're seeing it like in the internet. I'm thinking, well, there was no internet back then, shit, for this show, and then well, the show's gone on so long enough that they even tried to remake it in a cartoon format. Because the other problem is that a bunch of the actors already passed away, so obviously they're definitely trying to keep it going. But I think it's safe to say that the original show still stands strong to this day, even for so long. Because my parents saw that show when they were like in middle high school, and then I saw it when I was a kid. So I was like, oh shit, and it's still going today. And and every time I see it, I never seen the entire show, but even though it's been like years since I seen it, it's still freaking hilarious. Even though it's a little bit predictable, but I don't know, I guess that's the power with comedy shows, but when in terms of like ongoing storylines like Berserk, now we're thinking, whoa, there's expectations that must be met.
Yeah. Like either you kill them all or all the characters are gonna die or what?
Yeah, like One Piece is the other one that has like, gotta deliver on that ending.
Gonna find the One Piece or not?
Who knows? Because I mean, I guess it comes down to either one with passion, some passion slash job slash creativity or power. Because actually, I'm just I'm just brainstorming a bunch of ideas. So I'm sorry if it just sounds like I'm just blabbing on and on, but because even last week or the week before, there was a Clarence episode where this kid was actually making a comic, but at one point he got stumped because he didn't know what to do next. And then after thinking about it for like a whole day, he decided, well, I think I should just end the story. And the whole question was about trying to figure out how to end it.
Man, that'll be the day if One Piece ever end, man. People lose their fucking shit.
Yeah, man, I'll probably be in my 40s when that happens.
If Oda still be alive,
I know, like we're all joking about it now, but it's a joke that is so true that it could happen. Like, wow, shit. I remember when I was like 18 or something when this thing first came out.
why don't y'all just be like Disney World and just have Mickey Mouse just running everything?
Mickey.
Yeah.
Any more thoughts to add to this, Lunar? I think I went on long enough.
I don't know. Well, when it comes to like certain anime manga series, I guess there are certain animes that can work for continuing, but as either like sequels or spin-offs. But sometimes it could be too overwhelming to the point where it can get old. Like you lose like certain fans. I mean, people would definitely want the story to end. Yet people also would want the story to last longer. For example, Naruto. I remember reading comments saying that they want Naruto to keep on going and they don't want it to end.
Well, that's where Boruto comes in.
You just sound so exhausted, like.
Yeah, because like the whole Naruto thing was it just kept going, especially with the anime.
Oh yeah, the anime got tons of fillers.
Tons of fillers and other stories to adapt, like the novels.
Yeah, I think that's one example where I feel like it's too much, I think, by this point. Like, it already had its run in the mid-2000s, I mean, we all know it. I don't know.
The market, it did something. They're just gonna use they're just gonna do like spin-offs or little OVAs to keep it going. I'm okay with it.
Yeah, I guess we have like DC Comics and Marvel to look at as reference. I mean, there's still like, there's always a new generation of people that find the character interesting or the characters themselves are that great, but as for like anime series, they're still kind of like relatively young compared to like American comics when it comes to long running stuff. But
really?
Well, I suppose, I mean, because you got Batman and Superman, they're like from the 30s. Yeah. And even Gogo's not, he's like really, he's one of the oldest characters, but he's from like the 60s. Same thing goes for Lupin. So, but Who knows? I guess it depends on the fan bases more than anything because, like, for me, I feel like Naruto should just stop already, but you know, there's definitely people that want Naruto to go, and then I'm pretty sure there's people that wish One Piece would stop already because getting into it is like getting into One Piece and Detective Conan and even Ippo for their sheer length is intimidating for a lot of people.
Like, we got like a short version. Like, nope, gotta watch the episodes.
Yeah, that and the fact that the quality. Like, I personally feel that One Piece's quality does take a while to really reach its potential, especially the fact that, well, the reason why it's so fun now is because of the whole crew being together as opposed to, like, to how it started off in the beginning. I remember that, talking to Random Anime, that he told, like, he's like, his favorite series is One Piece, but I remember very well that when he first saw One Piece, he nearly dropped the show just because of Kobe. And that was like super early. I mean, you could say that to almost everybody. How many people are going to like enjoy right off the bat or the beginning of One Piece? I'm like, oh, and the same thing. I said the same thing too for Lupin. Is that Lupin's like one of my most favorite things ever, and I'm thinking I don't think people are gonna get into it right off the bat, especially when you tell people, oh, you need to go watch the original series from '71. Like, oh, 4x3 old animation? No way. I'm gonna watch the new one, the 2015 version. But even then, if you go to the modern one, you're gonna be overwhelmed with all these characters, and at the same time, just like they don't really give you a good idea who they are. Not even the original series tell you like, doesn't give you a good structure of what is supposed to be in the future. So I don't know. It's like a case by case basis. I think when it comes to old shows, you need to have a friend or someone who is really knowledgeable about the franchise to begin with, or unless you're willing to be experimental with it.